Hi VC. This is not a new finds video. I've been laid up in bed sick with the flu for like the past, I guess, couple days or so. I'm finally over all that. Now I'm about to hop on a plane and go to Colorado, and I'll be doing lots of record shopping there. But just being laid up in bed, I suppose, has been inspiration to sit around and watch a lot of other people's videos, specifically some people that are not even a part of the VC. I don't think they don't show records. Their thing is that they just talk about music. It's a channel called Mr. LTIA1234, and it's these two English guys. They just sit and they discuss music and British politics, which I obviously I have no, I don't really have a horse in the race of that, but interesting to hear about. They're really funny, and they've always just talked about like prog rock and stuff like that. And so I was watching a lot of their videos where they're talking, and I feel like I haven't watched them in years. And for whatever reason, I remembered just hearing them. They were talking about King Crimson, and I just remembered, like, I was obsessed with King Crimson for a very long time, and so I went. I like to consider myself, extremely familiar with all of the King Crimson stuff, even up to the tiny things like what is like the projects. I don't even remember what this is. I know I've listened to it before though. Bunch of live stuff. But yeah, the projects. So yeah, I'm pretty literate in King Crimson. But one that I just did not, I see the cover all the time and I think, God, what does that sound like? And that is Lark's Tongues and Aspic. And I've had this for a while. I must have just gotten it and not thrown it on the turntable. I'm familiar with the album. I played it and it's just amazing. I love this album so much. This was such like a rediscovery for me that this is such a fantastic album. And I like Red. I don't think I like Red as much as I like this one though. And I don't own Starless and Bible Black, so now that's the new returning blind spot is Starless and Bible Black. I have to go get that one. And I know Lizard pretty well, and I know Islands, but this was another kind of blind one. And I remember throwing this on the turntable when I got it. I'm pretty sure I like this one a lot. This is In the Wake of Poseidon. Really good. Just sounds like more in the court, but it's, I guess, a bit more brooding. It's not as immediate. But yeah, these are just really, really good albums that I just kind of forgot that I devoted a big period of my life to King Crimson. And another one, just being in the K's, kind of forgetting, of course everyone in the VC knows this, but Kings of the Village Green Preservation Society, that beautiful shrink. This is not a recent reissue. This is actually that Canadian 80s reissue on... I can see the label in my head right now. It's like a green and red swirly. It's on the turntable right now. This was sealed when I bought it. It was like 10 or 15 bucks. I think I got this the same day I got Maggot Brain. But yeah, I got this sealed. It sounds fine. One of my teachers in high school managed to find an original US copy on that the Two-Tone Reprise label for like $5 at a flea market or something, and that always just burned me up. So when I found a sealed one, I was happy. This is new. I know I said that I didn't have new stuff really, but this actually came in the mail. I posted about it in the VC. The Clifford Jordan Glass Bead games. I've been waiting on a reissue of this for forever. Um, this is one of the Strata East albums that's out of the galaxy in terms of price range. It's like $500. Which basically leads me to another thing, is that every time Superfly or Pure Analog, I think it is, every time they do these Strata East reissues, they make so little of them, and I have no idea why. I feel like there's huge demand for these Strata East albums, especially right now. I kind of feel like there's a revival in that sort of soul jazz Strata sound. I always produce so little of them. I wound up getting that from Forced Exposure. It still cost me a good amount, the full price of a reissue, but I didn't have to import it or anything. But they're always so high in price, and it's just kind of infuriating. And then these next three I got here, I just kind of, again, it was like King Crimson. I kind of forgot that I was really obsessed with this person for a long time. This is Roland Kirk. This one is on top. I didn't mean to show this one first. This is Prepare Thyself to Deal with a Miracle. This is kind of like a big band one. It gets a lot of high praise, but this one is not my favorite. I like it a lot. I really, really like the suite on the end, the saxophone concerto. That's peak Roland Kirk being Roland Kirk. But compared to the other 70s stuff, I think I greatly prefer Return of the Thousand Pound Man, and definitely Natural Black Invention's Root Strata. That is a near perfect album. I don't have a copy of that. If I had a copy of that, I would show it. But I do have these two to show. First is The Inflated Tear. This was find on Discogs a long time ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago, which I guess isn't that long of a time, but I'm younger than most people in the VC, so it's a long time for me. Yeah, I got this a long time ago. This was a Discogs find for, I think it was like $5 plus shipping, and it's not an original. It's on the green and red Atlantic label. But I love this one. I never get sick of it. And it kind of goes in line with the other Roland Kirk album, which, you know, if you held me at gunpoint and said, pick your favorite Roland Kirk album, Domino. You can't go wrong with Domino. This is kind of like the beginning of the changeover from the more like straightforward stuff of like We Three Kings, which is also an amazing album. And Domino kind of picks that up. The flute all over this thing is just crazy. Roland Kirk, just such an underrated jazz artist, really. I don't know why more people aren't kind of going mad over his stuff, because there's so much of it that's so good. And then finally I have some CDs here to show. Obviously not as interesting, but again, I'm just kind of going in line with what I've been listening to. First up, this is Spice One 187 he wrote. This is some grimy West Coast shit. You know, this is not your Dog Pounds or your Dr. Dre's even. This is like, I want to say this is probably the more, I don't know, this is just, when I think of the rougher side of that early West Coast hip-hop sound, I definitely think of MCs like Spice One, and Spice One really goes under the radar, especially considering Spice One is still alive today. There's just not a lot of talk about him, and I feel like this is like a classic. Like, this goes toe-to-toe with Death Row Records stuff. I mean, Spice One is an amazing rapper, and the production on this is so expensive sounding. I mean, this does not, you know, this isn't like any of the, like, a southern hip-hop that goes out on a cassette and it sounds like crap and someone gives it 5 stars on Rate Your Music. This is like, I don't know, it just kind of dropped off. But yeah, Spice 187 he wrote. Next up, I got this out and played it yesterday, actually, because, so yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I kind of went on a Ella Fitzgerald bender, meaning I listened to all of the Cole Porter Songbook one, which is, in its own right, it's like 2.5 hours long, but I thought, oh, I'll get that out and listen to it, and I just kind of got on this big band standards kick. And so I'm running through 78s on Rate Your Music, and I see the bolded for Sing 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 by Benny Goodman. This is not the 78 of Sing Sing Sing. If I had that, that would be great. But I do have this. This is Benny Goodman, the Carnegie Hall concert, the big one, which does have Sing 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 on it. It has Sing 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 with a swing. But yeah, this is, I mean, classic, fantastic, big band swing stuff. And you can get this for so cheap. It's been re-released so many times. Happy to have it. And then finally, Mechanical Animals. I know. There's something about this album that just, I don't get how you can resist it. It's like, you see, the way that this came onto my wavelength was a Diamond Dogs comparison, because I've always heard the glam comparison, and someone threw the word Diamond Dogs in there, the Bowie album, and immediately I'm like, okay, I have to hear this. And it is fantastic. It is so good, song for song. There's really, like, no duds in here, and my thing with Marilyn Manson is I like him, but he always just kind of, I don't know, even on, like, the classics, he just seems to kind of push me away, like, the Irresponsible Hate anthem, where the chorus makes a very bold assertion that involves the use of a slur that I'm not going to go into, but it's very, just kind of, you know, it is kind of an irresponsible hate anthem, but that's such a good album. It is, kind of glammy, kind of industrial, but anyway, I'm rambling. Just wanted to get a video out. Headed to Colorado, hopefully going to shop, make a lot of good finds there, but thank you for watching, VC, and I will be back soon.